everybody, it is Alex the Boogeyman here. Guess what? It is time for a midweek musing. And this week's midweek musing is about our focus point. Our focus point is posture, having good boxing posture, being in our stance, having a nice bend in our knees, keeping our chin tucked, keeping that little bit of tip forward, making sure we're not opening up our chest, blah, blah, blah. You've heard me talk about it. But I want to talk about some specific problem areas that I see with a lot of people in here. A lot of people may have postural issues and not even know. So the first one has to do with hooks, generally hooks to the head, but can happen with hooks to the body as well. And it's coming up tall, especially on that lead hook when we throw it, getting tall and getting straight. And we see this on burnouts a lot too, like this. As you can see, I'm very upright. You never want to be tall. You never want to be straight up in boxing. I don't want my chest out. I don't want my shoulders pulled back. So you want that little bit of a tip forward, and I'm throwing hooks. I'm keeping my chin tucked. I'm not straight up. I'm not tall. Another area we see this is the rear uppercut, the backhand, the power hand. Now this one's a little trickier because yes, indeed, we are lifting up. We are pushing off the ground, or we should be, to throw that uppercut. But you don't want to get in a position like this, where your knee is totally locked out. You're up too tall, maybe even your front toe, your heel is off the ground, and especially not elbow stuck on your ribs like this. Yes, we're going from low to high. Yes, you want to lift up, but you don't want to get fully extended. I'm pushing up, but I still want that little give in my knees. I don't want to push my hips forward with that uppercut. I want to rotate my hips. So instead I'm twisting my hip, bring that rear hip right in front of the lead hip. We talked about that before as well. And then finally, don't have your elbows stuck on your ribs. It's true you don't want it out wide, but as soon as I'm finished with that rotation, as soon as I'm rotating, I can release that elbow forward. Make sure we're also keeping our eyes on the target when we do this too. Next is another rear hand punch. It's the overhand, and this one baffles me. I've said this many, many times. I don't know, maybe I'm not explaining it right. Tell me if I can help you out. So the overhand, it's coming over the top. We're dipping down, we're bending our front knee, we're dropping our weight through the punch. What I see a lot of, so much of, even when I'll say, don't do this, is that lead knee is perfectly straight. And then sometimes people also don't punch through the punch, meaning they go here and they stop, instead of driving all the way through. You've got to drop your weight down, you got to let that weight sink, and you're catching it with that front leg. That's where you're going to get the power from, and you're also going to keep good balance as well. If I'm up here like this, my balance is terrible, and if you hit me, I will fall right over. And the fourth thing we'll talk about, there's other examples, but this one is very tricky. Maybe it's something you've never tried to do before. I want you to try to do it now and forevermore. Let's say I'm throwing a combo. So Steph, give me a combo.
Jab, cross, hook, cross.
All right, so jab, cross, hook, cross, right? Moving around. Jab, cross, hook, cross. Jab, cross, hook, cross. Now, I'm not gonna do this forever because Steph's gonna either change the combo or do something in a second. So now let's say she's gonna change the combo. What are you gonna change it to, Steph?
Jab face, jab body, rear over.
So I'm listening. Jab face, jab body, rear overhand. Okay, did you see what I did? I stayed in my fighting stance while she said that. Jab face, jab right. I didn't do, so hook cross, and then she says it, and I'm like, what? Huh? Don't do this, don't break your posture. Yes, I know, you're turning to listen and everything, and you want to pay attention, but what I want to do is face her and stay in my fighting stance. So if she says whatever the new combination is, I'm still ready in my fighting stance. Maybe I'm not facing my opponent, yeah, it would be nice, but I'm facing her, I'm listening, so jab, jab, overhand, right? Whenever she changes it, I turn and look, but I stay in my fighting stance. Maybe I even stay moving a little bit. You don't want to just come to a full stop. Even though, again, I want you to pay attention, but you can pay attention while doing this. You could tell me anything, and I could listen just fine like this, or at least as good as I'm gonna listen. So there's 4 problem areas I see. I want you to think about those. I want you to muse on those, yes, absolutely, this week, because that is how, wait, we don't say it at midweek musings. What do I say? I can't remember, it's been so long. This has been a midweek, no, that was too fast. This has been a midweek musing.